Manchester United receive a significant FFP windfall after shock transfer deal outcome. Borussia Dortmund are into the semi-finals of the Champions League, and Jadon Sancho's involvement has led to a financial bonus for Man United. Manchester United's financial fair play position has received a boost this week after Borussia Dortmund's qualification for the Champions League semi-finals triggered another payment as part of Jadon Sancho's loan deal. Dortmund paid an upfront fee of €3.5 million to take Sancho on loan in January, with a further €4 million in potential add-ons. A United source said a significant bonus has since been activated after their unlikely journey to the semi-finals of the Champions League. A further payment will be due if Dortmund get past Paris Saint-Germain in the last four, and Sancho has played his part in their deep run into the competition. They have beaten PSV Eindhoven and Atletico Madrid since Sancho returned to his former club in January. The 24-year-old has started all four of those games, scoring in the second leg against PSV, and he played all but 4 minutes of the two legs against Atletico Madrid as he continues to recover his form after a difficult spell at Old Trafford. Sancho was banished from the first-team squad in September after taking to social media to dispute Erik Ten Hag's claim his absence from the matchday squad at Arsenal was down to poor performances in training, leading to his temporary exit in the January transfer window. The majority of Sancho's wages for the second half of the season have now been recovered by United, and they will be paid in full if all bonuses are achieved, in a deal that was negotiated by the club's Director of Football Negotiations Matt Hargreaves. Every bonus triggered as part of the deal is also boosting United's position when it comes to complying with financial fair play rules and the Premier League's stringent profit and sustainability rules. Sancho's loan deal with Dortmund expires on June 30th, and it is still expected that he will be sold this summer, but Dortmund have no option to make the move permanent, and all options remain open to United. Jadon Sancho transfer update emerges, and other Manchester United rumours. An update on Jadon Sancho's future has emerged, and the Man United officials have 3 names on their wish list as potential replacements to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Manchester United are reportedly confident they can offload Jadon Sancho to Borussia Dortmund this summer. Sancho joined the Bundesliga giants on loan in January after a public spat with United manager Erik Ten Hag. He has helped the German club reach the semi-finals of the Champions League following a win over Atletico Madrid. Dortmund stunned Atletico 4-2 in their quarter-final second leg at Signal Iduna Park on Tuesday night. They won the tie 5-4 on aggregate after trailing 2-0 at one stage in the first leg. While Sancho didn't get on the scoresheet, he featured in both games and has been praised for his displays. The 24-year-old has 3 goal contributions in 10 Bundesliga games. While it is said that Sancho would be open to a return to Old Trafford, the Daily Star claims the club's hierarchy is confident in securing a permanent transfer back to Dortmund. The report adds that while Dortmund don't have a buy option in Sancho's loan deal, United have agreed to give the club first refusal for his signature. Sir Jim Ratcliffe is said to be ready to cut losses and recoup some of that money, demanding a fee in the region of £45 million. Sancho sealed a £73 million move to the Old Trafford 3 years ago, but failed to settle back in his homeland. Elsewhere, Barcelona star Jules Kounde has emerged as a potential option to replace Aaron Wan-Bissaka this summer. The fullback had his year-long contract extension triggered in January but could still be sold at the end of the season. Inter Milan are reportedly considering a move for Wan-Bissaka, and Ten Hag has circled right back as one of 4 positions he is looking to bolster in the summer. According to Italian journalist Rudy Galletti, Kounde has emerged on United's 3-man shortlist. He is said to be appreciated a lot by United officials due to his versatility to also play at centre-half. Chelsea came close to signing him in the summer of 2022 before Barca hijacked the deal. Jeremy Frimpong is also seen as a potential option to replace Wan-Bissaka. The United hierarchy is said to have held talks with the Bayer Leverkusen right-back. The other name on the wish list is Inter Milan's Denzel Dumfries. Inside first Old Trafford task force meeting that could kickstart £2 billion rebuild for Man United. The Old Trafford Regeneration Task Force held its inaugural meeting and Manchester Mayor Andy Burnham attended. The Mayor of Greater Manchester, Andy Burnham, described the first Old Trafford Task Force meeting as introductory and reiterated the decision is in Manchester United's hands. It was announced last month that a task force to regenerate Old Trafford and the land around it had been created, and that it would be chaired by Lord Sebastian Coe. Former United captain Gary Neville was appointed to the panel, along with Manchester Mayor Burnham and Sarah Todd, Chief Executive of Trafford Council. The panel was created to explore all options but to closely examine the feasibility of a new building and wider regeneration. On record, Sir Jim Ratcliffe has said it's his preference to build a new Old Trafford, to create a Wembley of the North and a stadium that's befitting the club and the brand. Estimated costs for that have been put at £2 billion. Lord Coe chaired the inaugural task force meeting on Monday, and among the attendees was Colette Roche, who is United's Chief Operating Officer, and it's understood senior club representatives will work hand in hand with the task force and be part of its meetings. Burnham was asked by the Manchester Evening News what happened in the inaugural task force meeting and said, "It was an introductory meeting. We were all getting to know each other, although most of us knew each other already, but just scoping out what we could do. Obviously our role is to facilitate the club's decision. We're there to help with the information, evidence, perspective, sometimes adding broader perspective that sometimes the club aren't aware of." So it was very high-level introductory, but it was really good that Lord Coe was there. I think that's a really big statement of not just the club's ambition but Greater Manchester's ambition to have someone of his stature involved, who delivered the London Olympics. And I think that sends a message that this is more than building a stadium, which is a really important message to get over. This is potentially one of the biggest regeneration projects that the north of England will see in this century actually, it's that significant. When asked how often the task force will meet, Burnham said, "The aim is to move with the pace. I don't think anyone wants to hang around. Clearly it's in the hands of the club, our aim is to help facilitate their decision whenever they want to make it and as quickly as they want to make it, but it's complex. If I just talk from perspective, in terms of my direct responsibilities, there are transport implications either with a refurbished stadium or a new stadium, so there are significant things to work out. There are transport opportunities because we have a freight terminal right behind Old Trafford and the freight that comes into that terminal passes through the Castlefield corridor and it is actually a bone of contention for one degree or another because it mingles in with the passenger trains and contributes to the congestion on the Castlefield corridor. So there's a big issue there but potentially a big opportunity to separate that freight traffic out from the passenger traffic. So that's obviously why I said at the start, people need to see this than more than a stadium really. There are potential benefits to Greater Manchester from a societal, community and economic point of view but also transport and mobility. Since the initial announcement of the task force, an extra 4 members, Tom Bloxham, Dan Jones, Tim Nunes and Victoria Braddock, have been added. The 14 members of the Old Trafford Task Force. Seb Coe, Chair. Anna Ben-Sky, Director of Major Projects at Peel Land and Property. Tom Bloxham, Chairman of Urban Splash. Eamon Boylan, CEO of Greater Manchester Combined Authority. Victoria Braddock, Managing Director of Marketing Manchester. Andy Burnham, Mayor of Greater Manchester. Duncan Drastow, CEO of Manchester United Supporters Trust. Dan Jones, former Head of Sports Business at Deloitte. Gary Neville, former Captain of Manchester United. Tim Nunes, Managing Director for Levelling Up at the UK Office for Investment. Malcolm Press, Vice-Chancellor of Manchester Metropolitan University. Tom Ross, Leader of Trafford Council. Nancy Rothwell, President and Vice-Chancellor of the University of Manchester. Sarah Todd, CEO of Trafford Council.